Yeah, I got involved with the band when Isaac called me, I guess 2 years ago, August '05, and he called me up and asked me whether I'd be interested in helping the band write the next record, and it's kind of just came completely out of the blue, really. It was kind of a odd situation, but anyway, we talked about what the band wanted to do, and I already heard a fair bit of Modest Mouse. I was a fan of Modest Mouse, and it sounded like quite an intriguing prospect, really. I just kind of figured, well, I went into it saying, well, let's just kind of do 10 days of playing together and see what happens, kind of thing. And I was always intrigued by their influences and how they did things, because I couldn't quite fathom how it came about. There's a lot of bands around who, you can hear their influences quite obviously. That's kind of cool, but Modest Mouse are one of those groups that you couldn't really work out how things sort of came to be, so I thought that sounded like an interesting prospect. I didn't actually expect it to work, to be honest. I just figured, okay, well, it's going to be 10 days out of my life playing with some musicians I'd never met before in Portland, and that's going to be a good thing. So we just talked a little, and I just said, hey, well, it might not work. And he said, well, look, we'll have some good fun trying. So I went over to Portland, and we started, Isaac and I started playing very fiercely at each other through very loud amplifiers on the first night, and we wrote a couple of songs that first night. So the next day I kind of woke up about 4:30 a.m. all kind of jet lagged, and sort of realised that we'd written a couple of singles almost. So I thought, well, that's a pretty interesting start, So that's kind of how it started, and then that 10-day period of writing and jamming and everything was really prolific and super inspired. As the days went on, it started off me and Isaac, and then a couple of band members had arrived, and then another band member had arrived the next day, and it just kind of expanded, and we were just falling over it ourselves with ideas, and we were working really long days and pouring out these ideas and organising them and everything. And then I went back to the UK for a few weeks and listened to what we'd done and thought about it, and I was quite excited to get back. So then we did some more writing, and then it just kind of rolled then, really. Next thing you know, you've got a whole bunch of songs that you really care about, seeing how they turn out, and you want to make sure they come out right. And 2 years later, I'm still there.